Okay, so welcome to class. It's really nice to have you this beautiful morning. It looks very beautiful for those of you who are that know that I'm in Guatemala. It's a beautiful sunny morning, and compared to yesterday's very cloudy volcanic morning, I'm thrilled to be here. So a nice tall spine. Just feel your spine lifting as if you could occupy just a little bit of space above your head. Relax your shoulders. Relax your head on top of your spine. Good. And then just notice your breath for a moment. Just notice where you're breathing in your belly, in your chest. You're breathing in your diaphragm, but just do you feel it below? Do you feel it above? Do you feel it right there at the rib cage where the ribs start? Where do you feel your breath? Just a moment or two of getting in touch with the breath, getting in touch with the pran, with the life force energy. In through the nostrils, going out through the nostrils. Just a few more conscious breaths. Relax your muscles, soften your face. And then let's bring our hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present. A special prayer of thanksgiving for Baba Hari. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga. And with vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. And it's a practice every day. So today, this Wednesday, what do you need for self-transformation? Seeing what pops into your mind, filter it, prioritize it, and then form one positive sentence as if it were already happening, repeating it to yourself 3 times. A sankalpa, a sacred vow. And then to open class, we'll chant 1 Om. Hopefully you can where you are. My voice will cut out because I have on noise removal. So just please keep going until your breath tells you it's time to stop. So exhaling the breath out. A nice big inhale to begin. Whoa. Fluttering your eyes open with an inhaled breath. And then just letting your palms come down to your knees for a moment and receiving. Just opening your palms toward the earth. And then just taking your shoulders and bringing them forward. So bringing the shoulders forward and then up, and just drag your hands with your shoulders and back and down and forward and up and back and down. 2 more, forward and up and back and down and forward and up and back and down. And press down for just a moment and then release and just come to neutral. We're going to go up and back and down and forward and up and back and down and forward, up and back and down, forward, 2 more, back, down and forward. Just 1 more big circle. And then come to forward, come all the way up now, just being up and your neck is swallowed. And then instead of dropping it down, just slowly let it melt down. Just slowly, slowly, slowly melting it down. Good. And then let's bring the heads of the shoulders toward one another. So just draw them toward one another. and then draw them back. And then draw them toward one another. So really bringing them toward your sternum, and then draw them back. So your shoulder blades are being squeezed toward one another and then separated toward the side body. 2 more. And then good. Back, squeeze the shoulder blades, and forward and back. And then just relax them again. Just relax the shoulders completely. And then for just a moment, let's do eagle arms. So just putting your arms out to the side for just a moment. You're just going to cross your left arm over as far as it will go. Just cross it over. And your right arm over on top as far as it will go. And then just drawing the backs of the arms toward one another. You may wind your hands around each other. Good. And then take the arms down a little bit, just the elbows down towards your chest. Open the arms, open the shoulders, open the back of the shoulders, and then coming up, and then lift up just a little. So we're using the elbows for this momentum. Come back into neutral, and then down, and open the arms a little, and then come back up, press up. Good, and come down, and just one more. Come up, and press up. And then back into neutral. Now we're going to unwind the arms. Good. Righty. Now you're going to take your right arm as far as you can across your belly. And then the left arm over on top. So get as far as you can. Feel the shoulders really close to the sternum. And then bring your arm, the back of your hands together. You can stay right here, or you can wind your hands around each other, whichever is comfortable. Just settle in for a moment. Good. And then arms are coming, the elbows are coming down toward your sternum, opening your arm. One side may be a lot easier than the other side, or a lot more open than the other side. So just being patient and kind and knowing that our sides are very different. We have a strong side and we have a not so strong side. I always hesitate to say it's a weak side. We have a strong side and not so strong side. And one of the things that we want to be sure is that we're really working on that weaker side. Okay. You do one more of this while my cat, who is scratching at the window and will not stop until I go to the door and let her in. I'm going to go let her in. You keep doing your arms. And once you're done, after you've done the next one, just make other shoulder rolls. We're headed towards something today with our shoulders. Keep going. Mitzi, kitty, 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 kitty. Come on in. Well, at least say hello. She says, I'm sorry I interrupted class. Okay. So just some shoulder circles. So thinking about now moving your shoulders as if you were making a figure 8 with just your shoulders. So like a little salsa dancing. And then go in the other direction. Good. And then just relax your shoulders for a little bit. We're going to come back to them in a moment. So for now, let's focus a minute on our legs. So bringing your feet out in front. So big toe knuckles are touching and your knees are pointed straight to the ceiling and not to the side, okay? So just wiggle your knees for a moment, make sure that they're aligned with your hips and your ankles. Good. And then simply point your toes and then flex, but make sure you keep your heels on the floor. Point your toes and flex your toes towards you. So just pointing and flexing for a few times. Good. And now we're going to take the soles of the feet toward one another. So just bend your knees slightly, take them out to the side. The soles of the feet now sitting up nice and tall on your sit bones. Really nice and tall on your sit bones. Just bring your hands right inside your knees so you can feel those tendons from your hamstrings. Just bring your hands right inside your knees. Good. And just come forward a little. So to the pelvic tilt. So you're just rolling onto the front side of your pelvis and then back to neutral. We're not going far. Just come up a little tiny bit. Hold onto your tendons and then come back a little bit. Good. And then come up a little bit. We're not going to go any further than this. We're not trying to go far. And back a little bit. We're just working on the inside of where the acetabulum holds the feet. On top a little bit. And back a little bit. And one more. Come forward and just hold it for just a moment. Press your feet toward one another. Good. And then draw the legs a little closer. So now you can, if you have a block and you want to use it, you're welcome to put something underneath your knees, just for them to open up for a little bit. And we're right on top of our sit bones. We want to be right on top of our sit bones. So what we don't want to do, let me just give you the back view. So we're sitting right on top of our sit bones. So we don't have this, okay? So we want to avoid anything of like letting our spine poke out. So we want to keep our curves and the beautiful curves of our spine. No such thing as a straight spine. Doesn't exist, okay? So nice, tall, extended spine. Good. Here I can see you. Okay, so nice, tall, extended spine. Great, and we're right on top of the sit bones. Good. And now we're going to move the blocks, if you have them, out of the way. We're going to draw the left heel into the groin, place it down. And then we're going to take the right leg back. So we have the front leg in external rotation, the back leg in internal rotation. Good. So just for a minute right here, just a little twist over to the hips are staying even. Your twist is just happening where you have ribs. So a little twist over and then come back. Let's inhale, lift and twist. A little safer. Exhale, return. And inhale, lift and twist. And exhale, return. And this time we're going to sweep the right arm up, just sweeping it up as we're coming over to this side. And really just open your whole right side. Your right sit bone will probably come off the ground. That's perfectly fine. We're not trying to push it down. And then come back onto the right sit bone and release. Good. And then we're just going to go to the other side. Bring your heel in. And then the other leg in internal rotation. So nice and easy. Good. If you need to make any adjustments, my pillow feels really good under my right sit bone. I don't want anything under my left sit. So just deciding how you feel. And then the twist is happening in here. Nothing in our low back. We're just staying stable in the pelvic area. So inhale to the side and exhale, return. So 4 times. Inhale, lift and twist. And exhale, return. Inhale, lift and twist. And exhale, return. One more. Lift and twist. And exhale, return. Good. And then we're just going to lift, lift, lift. Now you might feel your left sit bone just coming off the ground, just opening the whole front side of your body. Extending, extending, extending. Beautiful. Good. And then coming back into. Great. Okay. Alrighty. So those of you who know how I teach, I don't usually have us go up and down, but we're going to go down and then we're going to come up. So I'm going to warn you, we're going to do that today. It's very weird. So you know how we did eagle arms? We're now going to do eagle legs. So watch for just a sec. We're going to do eagle arms with it. So we're just going to lay down for a moment. And remember how we prepared for our arms and we reached them really far across? Well, we're going to do that initially with our legs. We're going to reach one over to one side and one up to the other side. And then we're going to see if we can wrap them. So you can see my eagle legs. And whatever is on the bottom, that arm is on the bottom, and eagle arms. So we're on the floor in our eagle pose. And I don't know, you can't see, but I have a little bit of my lumbar curve. So I'm not pressing anything into the floor, okay? I'm just as if I were standing, okay? Let's see you do it. All right, so laying back. So initially just lay back and bend your knees. And just bend your knees and put your thighs in your hands for a moment. Just put your arms on the floor and put your thighs in your hands. Good. And then let's extend our legs up for just a moment. Just extend the legs up. Good. And let's take that, let's do the right leg first. So let's draw it over to the other side. So it puts the left leg on top. Okay, so the left leg's on top. Just and reach as far as you can, just with your legs for a moment. And then draw the calves and the ankles toward one another. And often though while we can't really wrap while we're standing, we can wrap while we're here. It's really kind of weird sometimes what we can do when we don't have the weight of gravity of our whole body. Okay, so you have your right leg on the bottom. So right arm is going to be on top. And you can do your eagle arms. And you can also just focus on doing the legs. And notice that your low back may come a little bit off the floor because you have the weight of your legs keeping you in your pelvic basket, really keeping it centered. Good. And then let's unfold our arms and just relax them on the floor. And then unfold our legs and just bring them in for a moment. Now your low back is going to go to the floor. So just draw your knees in, let your low back be on the floor. And now we're going to extend the legs again. And this time our left leg is going to go behind and over. And then bend the knee and see about wrapping. Just keep your knee bent, right? So your shins and calves are parallel to the floor and your knees are at a right angle. And notice that you'll have a little bit more of your lumbar curve now with that weight of your body. And then we can do our arms. So extend the left over, right over, and then up. And just holding on. Look at the ceiling. Right, let your neck just be soft. You also have lumbar curve here and you have cervical curve. So your neck also is not pressed into the floor. And then let's unwind. So just unwind for a moment. Just draw your knees in, rest your hands on the floor. So my kids used to call this dead bug pose. Just resting for a moment. Good. And then we're going to go back up to seated. And that's what I told you that I don't normally do, but I really wanted to do eagle lying down. So I'm gonna roll myself up just by coming and getting a little momentum and coming up. You're welcome to roll over to the side and come up any way you'd like. Okay. Good. Okay. So we did our eagle legs. We did our eagle arms in that position, and hopefully that felt good for you. Hopefully that that little opening here. And now we're going to go up onto all fours, okay? As we're headed to standing briefly. Good. So let's press the tops of the feet into the floor. Just press them as fully as you can, all the toes pressing into the floor. Good. And then begin to gaze forward. You're still pressing your toes into the floor, pressing the tops of the foot, and just looking forward. With your gaze, with your face looking forward, you can take your eyes toward the ceiling, but don't throw your head back on top of your neck. Press into the ball of the index finger on both hands. And then let's curl the toes under and then slowly maneuver ourselves into the other calf arch. Nice and slowly. Drawing our ears in between our shoulders, pressing into the hands, especially the ball of the index finger. And then lying our feet out one more time, coming through nice and slowly. Arching in the opposite direction. Eyes drifting toward the ceiling if that's comfortable. Face forward. Good. And then curl the toes under one more time, coming into that arch. Really press into the floor. And then come back into neutral, so looking down toward your hands at the space between your hands. We're going to go up into mountain pose, called downward facing dog. So I'm going to broaden my hands a little bit. My shoulders feel really much more comfortable if I have a wider stance with my hands here. So you can just play with that. And we're going to initially just send our hips up. You may need to wiggle your feet back a little bit. Hips are toward the ceiling. If you're on your menstrual cycle, go ahead and come back down. Just that little taste of it, okay? And if you're on your menstrual cycle, push your hips back and just reach forward like this. And if you're not, then right neck up to here. Also, if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure or glaucoma or anything else, don't invert. Anything that you might think, I don't know how that feels. Okay. And we're going to just walk toward the middle of the mat and bring our hands toward our feet. Just let your back round. Release your arms. And then let's bring the hands to right above the knees. Elbows glue them beside your ribs. Begin to have a seat in your chair and look forward, your imaginary chair. And then press up. Good. Okay. And let's come back front and forward. Excellent. Okay. So let's lift our toes up for just a moment. Just lift the toes. Right. And then drape the toes down so that we feel like we have the whole base of the foot really engaged. Right. And then bend the knees, get nice and soft moment. Okay. We're going to step the left leg over the right. Good. And just be nice and soft with your hips for a second. You can see I'm just a little bit of nice. I don't want to say bouncy because that may be too strong, but it feels like a little tiny bounce, right? Okay. So we can stay right here with our legs, just that crossover. We can also wrap here, or I'm going to keep mine planted because I'm going to be watching and I want to keep that. Find a focus. It's not me. Look above your computer or something that you can actually focus on for a moment. And then the arm that was the leg that's on the bottom, reach that arm across. The arm that's on the top, reach that arm on top, and then do our eagle arms. So here we are in our standing Garudhasana. And you're welcome to wrap the leg or not. But just see after all of the prep, if this feels better for you, and stable. And I'm going to turn to the side for a moment. So here I'm at the side. My knees are right in front of one another. So notice my back. My back has its curve. I'm not ever going to try that. Okay. So I'm going to keep my hips, a slight hinge in the hips. And like I said, you're welcome to wrap or not. And then let's come up tall and get big for a moment. Just get really big and walk around. Good. And then let let our internal computer, that's how it feels today with all of this AI stuff. I don't even go there. Okay. But letting our internal computer recalibrate. So find your Tadasana, be still for just a moment. Maybe let your gaze drop to the floor, your eyes even close until you feel equilibrium within your body. Soft shoulders, soft jaw, soft pelvic floor, soft belly. And then using an inhaled breath, fluttering your eyes open if you close them. And now the same thing on the other side, but we're going to lift our toes initially. That lifts our arches. And then lift the thighs. Good. Lift your pelvic floor. Belly comes in. Everything is engaged. Engaged, but not gripping, right? Totally engaged and not gripping. Now drape your toes down. Good. And then bend your knees and get soft. Because we need that softness at the pelvis to do this beautiful eagle. Okay. And then we're going to cross our right over our left. And you can plant it. Knees are right in front of each other. Okay. Good. Make sure you keep that bend in your hips. Good. And you're welcome to stay here, or you're welcome to wrap. I can't wrap with around my bad hip, but you're also welcome. I couldn't if I wanted to. You're welcome to wrap if you want to. You do not have to wrap. Good. It's still very good. All this adduction with your hip, something we don't normally do. Okay. Good. And then the arm that's on the bottom is the leg. So my left arm is on the bottom, my right arm is on top. And here we go. Good. Sink down a little bit into your hips. Just sink down a little. I always feel like my bottom is poking out just a little to keep that lumbar curve. Belly is in. Good. Excellent. And then we're going to get really big to release. Nice and big. Wow. Like a butterfly. Good. And then let's just do a couple of standing poses to take advantage of the opening that we've done with our hips with the adduction and then now our abduction. So let's open ourselves nice and wide. We're just going to do a little mini warrior series, and you're welcome to adapt this to whatever you might want to do. I'm going to externally rotate my right leg. Good. Bend my right knee over the ankle or shy of. So not past, over it or shy of it. Good. And then arms are up. Good. So you can go from here. I want you to feel a little bit liberal for a moment to do not exactly as I say, but I just want to give you a little of what you can do. You can be here in warrior 2. You can come into, my kids call this dying warrior. You can come into side angle. You can come into triangle. You can come into the whole variation again, right? So I'll do that. You can do anything you want to change it a little bit. You can even go up into Ardha Chandrasana if that's your desire today, okay? Let's finish up slowly. And then release your arms, straighten your leg, and unrotate on that side. Recalibrating. Good. And now externally rotating the opposite leg. Let your heel, back heel come out that little bit. That will keep you stable in your pelvis. Good. Bend the knee over the ankle or shy of. Good. And then arms floating up. Good. And then you're just going to do whatever seems to speak to you. You're welcome to follow me, or you're welcome to create your own or add something in the middle as you go. And again, just being where you are for a few moments. Just enjoying that. And then release the arms, straighten the legs, and unrotate. Good. And then a little hinge at the hips. Chatushpada Kabandhasan, four-legged ghost pose. So our other legs are these. You can put them on a block. You can go to the floor, only if it's not a strain. And if you don't have blocks, just put your hands right on your thighs. Spine is long, maintaining its curves. The hinge is at the hips, not at the back. Just holding this pose for just a few breaths. And then gazing forward, bend your knees. Gaze forward. Let's heel together, toes in front, heels together, and just a little wide-legged squat for just a moment. Right. And then gaze over your left shoulder and come back to center. And gaze over your right shoulder and come back to center. One more time, left, back to center. One more time, right. Notice how your left shoulder dips down and back to center. Good. And then come up a little bit because you want to toes in front of the heels and then down. And we're going to come down onto the floor. So you can bring them closer or further or whatever you need to come on down. Good. Hello. Great. So first, just extending again in Dandasana. Great. So our big toe knuckles are touching, our heels are apart, and our knees are toward the seat. Good. And I have a little space under my knees. I'm not pushing them into the floor. I'm going to draw up the right leg, just drawing it up. Place it over and really flex your left foot on the floor. Okay, so as we twist normally toward our leg, but if you have a big belly and you want to twist the other side, please be my guest, right? Okay, so we're going to lift and twist and exhale, return. Fourth time we'll stay. Inhale, lift and twist and exhale, return. Inhale, lift and twist, and we're going to stay. And then bring just your head back to look at toward me. Just bring your head back, face. Okay, just looking toward me for a moment. And then just come back with your torso. And then just bend this knee for this leg for a moment. Just hold it right there. It's if we were doing a figure 4 on the floor, but we don't have to pull it apart. Just leave it right there. And then release that leg. And then let's bring in the other leg. Good. You can cross it over or leave it where it was, whichever's more comfortable. Okay. And then we're going to inhale, lift and twist. Really flex your right foot along the floor and exhale, return. Inhale, lift and twist. And exhale, return. Lift and twist. Exhale, return. We're going to stay this time. Inhale, lift and twist. Just feel yourself completely in the twist. Belly is pulled back. Breath is in the chest. Try to bring it in between your shoulder blades on the back. And then gently draw your gaze toward me, just looking forward for a moment. Good. And then bring the torso along. Bringing the torso right back to the center. And then again, this leg just front and center. Good. And then release it. Okay. So we worked with our shoulders quite a bit, and we work with our hips a lot today. And so I want us to go to one more pose to see if this is usually a challenging pose for you, if what we've done today makes it easier. Okay. So we're going to come up into Gomukhasana. So I'm going to take my right leg, and I'm just going to put my knee into external rotation with some adduction, right? So it's externally rotated out here, and then I'm going to adduct it and put it towards midline. And then I'm going to take this one over, and this may be where I go. This is perfect. If this is comfortable, just like we did our twist, if this is good for you, stay there, okay? Because we don't want to force anything in knee or hip or ankle. If it's comfortable, you can bring the leg back and sort of begin to create that cow's face, okay? And then again, we have the right leg on the bottom. So we're going to take the right arm out to the side. We're going to internally rotate it and bring it up the back. We're going to take the left arm out and we're going to externally rotate it as far as we possibly can, and then up, and then bend the elbow. And just see if you have anything to hold on to. See if after today's work, it's a little bit more accessible. Maybe you're closer in the back. Just check it out. Sometimes we just kind of try to throw ourselves into this pose without enough prep in both the shoulders and the hips, and it's really hard. So let's just see how this feels today. Good. Excellent. At least I see pretty faces of those of you who are on the screen. Nobody's like, oh, it's killing me. I love that. Thank you. Okay, arms up overhead. Reach up, reach up, reach up, reach up. Now we're going to be like kids, and let's see if you can do this, because kids just do it in un, dos, tres. Okay, let's just see if you can do this. We're going to take our arms and we're going to place them over on the right side. Put our hands down. We're going to lift our hips, and we're going to walk to the back and all the way over to the other side. Keep walking, keep walking. And then we're going to sit down, and by golly, we're in Gomukhasana on the other side. We adults, it's not so easy, but for kids, it's just like they just go right into it. Okay, so let's take our arms out and remember the one that's on the bottom is going to internally rotate and has to go as far as it can before it comes back and reaches up your. And the one that's on the top is going to externally rotate and then come up, reach up, then bend the elbow. Good. And just seeing if you're a little closer than your norm. Breathing. Just about 15 seconds more. Just breathing. Make sure your neck isn't trapped. And release. Arms up overhead. Reach up out of those hips. Good. And then lean back just a little bit to undo your legs completely and allow yourself to find Shavasana. Okay, so down we go. If your floor is warm enough, let yourself feel like a starfish. So maybe your feet are off the mat and your arms are off the mat. I just don't want you putting your hands and feet on a cold floor unless it's hot and it feels really good. So find yourself open like a starfish, but you always want your hands below your heart. So not leaving your arms overhead. No, hands below your heart. And then from this place of gravity, just noticing your breath. Not changing it, don't control it. Just watch the universe breathe you for a little bit. Sinking in into the floor, letting your body and mind relax. Without changing it, just continuing to notice the breath, the space in between the inhale and exhale. Maybe noticing the length of the exhale compared to the length of the inhale. And then just a little bit of control of the breath right here in jaw, making no other move. We're going to control the breath by finding an exhale, counting it, maybe 4, pause for 4, and inhale for 4. Pause for 4. Doesn't need to be a big breath at all, just a counted breath. Just letting the space between the inhale and the exhale be the same. And then letting the control go, just following back, natural breath. Slowly beginning to bring the senses online, begin to wiggle your nose, roll your eyes in sockets, one direction and then the other. Just moving your eyes, begin to move your mouth and your tongue in the mouth. You stick your tongue out. Begin to feel how if you stick your tongue out, you wiggle your ears. Begin to swim your fingers and twinkle your toes. And then bend your knees. Place your feet firmly on the floor. Lift your hips off just a tiny bit and shift them over to one side. And then draw your knees in and rock yourself completely to the other side. Just curled up in embryo pose, all safe and secure. And then let's try this together, allowing our head to be the very last thing that comes on. We're going to take the hand of our upper arm. We're going to place it right in front of our face. I want you to keep looking at that hand as you begin to come up a little, and then put the left hand right there to join it, or the opposite hand, whatever it is, and begin to push yourself away. Keep your chin tucked in until you feel your spine come upright. And then once your spine is upright, place your head right on top. Good. And then gently finding your comfortable seat again. I want to do just a couple of those breaths that we did on the floor, just with a different orientation of gravity. It's not specific to a chest breath or a belly breath. It's whatever breath you want. I just want you to draw it in for 4, pause for 4, let it out for 4, pause for 4. Okay? So just a few controlled, counted breaths. Put your gaze to the floor or let your eyes close completely. Same breath pattern. Inhale 4, pause 4, exhale 4, pause 4. Then full minute. Discontinue the control and just fall back into your natural breath pattern. That was 1 minute of controlled breathing. We're going to do 1 more minute of controlled breathing. We'll begin with an exhale, starting now. And pausing, letting the controlled breath go, falling back into your natural breath pattern. We're going to slide right into our meditation. Just continuing to find your comfortable seat. Relax your belly, your pelvic floor. Everything is relaxed, muscle to bone. Your jaw is relaxed. And your object of concentration comes to mind. Holding on to that object dearly, like a wayward toddler who you love and adore. Bring it back with care and devotion as it wanders. Bring it back lovingly, kindly. Stay with it. bringing your meditation to a close. Just noticing the mind, being kind and loving, but just noticing where it goes. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Remembering your intention for the practice, your Sankalpa, and repeating it again to yourself 3 times as if it were already happening on the path of self-transformation. Any merit we may have earned this morning in our practice of yoga, we lift it all up, all sentient beings. Thinking of someone or something that you're working on that needs a little oomph, bring that to mind. Any other prayers or petitions that you might have, bringing it all to mind. And then symbolically, allowing all of that in your mind to fall down into your heart space. And from your heart space into the very palms of your hands. And then lift it up, just lifting it up, lifting it up, lifting it up. And just let it go off into the universe. Just let go. Bringing your hands gently back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste.